Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now, this week we get behind the wheel of the 2014 GMC Sierra Denali. Now, if you're not familiar with the Denali lineup, then obviously you've been under a rock somewhere, but basically it's the premium luxury in the GMC lineup. And when you add that to a truck, obviously it puts refinement behind this vehicle. Now, we've been behind the wheel of a lot of General Motors pickup trucks, you know, the Silverado and the Sierra, and we've been in a lot of their different versions. Most notable, of course, was that recent Chevy and the High Country Edition. Now, the Denali, when it's badged on the vehicle, is obviously going to take premium to the next level, and it's to be expected. Of course, it's on the terrain, it's on the Yukon, so when you add it to a truck, it's going to add refinement to an otherwise rough vehicle. Now, the model we have here, of course, is the crew cab, and in the whole Sierra lineup there is the regular and the double as well. But this model obviously delivering all that crew comfort, that passenger interior volume that you're probably going to want on the job site. Now, of course, if you upgrade to the Denali, that's really going to bring that premium. Is it necessary? Possibly, of course, if you can afford it. Now, by the number, it's not going to be any different. It's going to measure in around about 230 inches overall with a stretch wheelbase of about 143. Now, those numbers are very lengthy, and for any novice driver, it's really going to take a little bit of fine tuning to even swing into a standard parking space. Now, with the exterior of any Denali, the biggest difference you're going to find out right off the bat is the amount of bling, specifically around the windows, the door handles, on the mirror here, and these nice step rails. Now, step rails are a vital tool on any pickup truck because it really helps with that ingress, because obviously we have a lot of ground clearance, usually anywhere between 8 to 10 inches on a standard pickup truck. Now, another nice place you're going to find a lot of bling, of course, are on these 20-inch chrome wheels. Now, standard is going to average somewhere around 17 or 18 inch, with these being a nice upgrade on this Denali. Now, looking at exterior styling cues, you're really not going to change it much just because it's Denali. You still have that standard Silverado / Sierra exterior, but one nice feature I love, even though you have all this chrome, you still have some nice rubber cladding around the wheel wells. So if you take this off-road, you're going to really minimize the kind of harshness that comes with going off the beaten path. Now, another nice feature I love, of course, is that chrome, and specifically up front with that stylized Denali grille that you're going to see on all the vehicles. Now, again, this box that comes on this vehicle is the 5'8" box. You can upgrade to a 6'6", but this is really plentiful. And again, anytime you start adding more inches, it really makes this vehicle a little bit more cumbersome in those tight spots. Now, one thing we love, of course, is the spray-in bed liners. This one's by a Bullet Liner out of Marietta, Georgia. And again, it kind of adheres, of course, to the vehicle. Now, another nice feature we really love that you can't find on a lot of trucks is this rear tailgate, and the fact that it actually eases down into place. Now, we tested a Dodge a few months back, and it had more of a slamming type of production. This one really eases into place. Now, another nice feature you're going to find on a lot of vehicles, of course, the bigger they get, is the safety features. This one, of course, having a backup camera coupled with the rear sensors. Now, it really came in handy when I was backing up. Really didn't see a kind of a pole back there, and the vehicle actually alerted me to it long before I even saw it, even on the screen. And the way this vehicle actually alerts you is not audible, but actually vibrating through the seats. Now, it's a little bit more subdued, so it actually takes a little bit more attention because you can overlook that type of sensor system, but it really worked out well and helps you kind of ease into those tight spots. Now, one of the nicest features we like on this vehicle, because of course it has ground clearance, which all culminates here at the back end when you're trying to climb inside this vehicle and grab some items, is this kind of niche they have for your step. You really can kind of get into this vehicle really fairly easily. Now, another feature we love on other models is the kind of tie-in system where it's a rail and you're able to move the hooks wherever you want. Now, we did haul a few items in this vehicle, and all we noticed was the tie hooks down in the bottom corners. Now, it wouldn't hurt if we had some extra hooks in other places, or had some type of rail system that really is more modular and kind of fit more to your needs versus having to really rope it down in different corners. Now, once you climb inside the Sierra Denali, this is really where you're going to notice the premium luxury that comes with this vehicle. Now, the best feature we love on this vehicle is the amount of legroom. There's actually 45 inches in the front and around about 40 inches in the back. And with all that plentiful space you have up front, you're really going to find that you move these seats forward more than back, which means your crew really is going to find plentiful comfort back in the back seats. Now, another nice feature we like that we kind of aired on last time is the ability to tilt and telescope this steering. Last time I actually thought it only tilt, but there's actually a lever a little bit hidden back here that once you release it, it will actually bring this steering forward, something I missed on the last review. Now, even though the Denali is pretty from the outside, it still has to be a workhorse under the hood. Now, the standard engine on the Sierra is going to be a 4.3 liter V6 engine. Now, it's going to deliver around about 285 horses, but most importantly, the best fuel economy at 18 to 24 miles per gallon on a two-wheel drive version. Now, if you go with, of course, the mid-size engine, that's going to be the 5.3 liter V8. That's going to be 355 horses and just a little bit less in fuel economy. Now, if you go with the true workhorse, which is what this vehicle came with, that's the 6.2 liter full-size V8 engine that delivers upwards of 420 horses, but is most anemic, averaging somewhere in the middle teens, 14 to 20-ish miles per gallon. So it's going to be the worst, of course, at the pump. Now, in any premium vehicle, you're really going to look for the innovations, and the Sierra delivers that quite well. Most notable is the big LCD screen front and center. Now, what this houses is all the information you're going to need, from XM to navigation, and it's really simply navigated. Once you get to the home screen, you can really find all the settings you're going to need. Now, better yet, it doesn't really have a whole lot of buttons down below. It really is all right there on the screen. A lot of other ones we've seen really have a lot of extraneous buttons and a lot of awkward navigation. Now, down below you're going to find the dual climate controls. Now, in this particular model, these are dial specific, really setting the exact temperature you're going to want between the driver and the front passenger. Now, one problem we have found on a lot of trucks is it is not a tri-zone system, meaning the back passengers really going to have to be at the comfort of the front, and that can be problematic if the vents aren't really pushed to the back. So that's another feature we really want to see trucks start to go towards, which is that tri-zone system. Now, the engine's coupled with a 6-speed automatic transmission. That, of course, compared to the Ram, which is an 8-speed. Now, this was a 4-wheel drive model, and when properly equipped, can tow all the way up to about 11,700 pounds. Now, that's about 300 pounds less than the 2-wheel drive model. Now, the base towing capacity on this is around about 9,500 pounds. Again, a few hundred pounds less than a 2-wheel drive model. Now, down below the climate control systems is going to be more of the kind of electronic hookups you may be looking for. Now, there's going to be 3 USB connections. These can do everything from charging devices to obviously interacting with the vehicle. Now, you do have 2 auxiliary jacks and a nice power outlet like you'd find at home. Now, this is even better, of course, if you don't have those car adapters. Really bring the standard jack you have at home to hook up those devices. Now, just because the truck has a huge cargo area, not everything's really meant for that space. You're really going to want to haul some things on the inside. Now, transforming this back seating area into cargo is made fairly simple, with basically pulling up on this seat bottom and flipping it up. Now, it's going to give you a nice flat cargo area, really putting grocery items here, and you can divide it because it is about a 70-30 split, really allowing that one single occupant to sit there, or you leave 2 here and fold up that little area just the same. Now, one problem you have when you go to a premium vehicle is that you're going to really have this huge center console. Otherwise, you could possibly sit up to 6 people in a truck like this. But with the center console comes a lot of extra storage. You have a huge center console here, really deep. It's not a 2-tier system, so it's really going to kind of be a dumping ground for anything you throw in it. Now, inside here, you got more USB connections. You got an auxiliary jack, of course, and you even got an SD reader. So again, you can put some of those electronic devices in here, allow them to charge, connect, and they're really put out of the way. Now, another nice feature we found is this kind of removable cup holder system. Basically, you're going to pull up on it like this. It's going to have an open area, and then you can kind of move them forward, really kind of customizing where you want your ergonomics and how you want it to feel. That does it for this edition of Road Warrior and our treat behind the wheel, the 2014 GMC Sierra Denali. Now, again, this is standard rugged pickup truck, but it does take premium to the next level. Now, if you'd like to see its likeness on the Chevy lineup, of course, you look at the High Country, and it has all the same offerings. Now, again, I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. And as always, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.